Hey, mighty men of God, Joe Martin here with Real Men Connect, where we help good men become great men God's way by providing with real answers to real problems in the real world. Welcome to the Real Men Ride Along, hotel style. I'm in, where am I today? I'm in St. Joseph, Missouri. I'm getting ready to go to the airport and catch my flight to Little Rock, Arkansas today. But I wanted to shoot a quick video for you. Because I had an opportunity yesterday before I had to speak. I was here speaking at a university. Had an opportunity to speak to a friend of mine on the phone, and we were talking about the attacks of Satan, and what he tries to do to get us out of our lane, off the will of God, out of the will of God, try to break up our relationship. We know that the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But we looked at all the different ways that he tries to do that. On an earlier video, I can't remember exactly when I shot it, I talked about us having spiritual ADD, about the weapons that the enemy typically uses. He uses the same weapons over and over again. And we mentioned the weapons of accusations. He's accuser of the brethren. Distractions to let us not go for God's best, but to settle for just God's good. And also discouragement, making us feel bad that God doesn't love us, that it's not worth it, and those kind of things. And all this is wrapped under the spirit of deception, because he knows sometimes, especially if you're a mature Christian, you can see him coming when it's obvious, but it's when those subtle ways that he gets us. But I didn't want to shoot a lesson today. I wanted to shoot a quick encouragement to edify you today, to enlighten you today. Or something that we were discussing. And I was telling them that I had just recently read a book by John Bevere, which I highly recommend. I have to add it to our resource page on realmenconnect.com, called The Bait of Satan. I feel bad. The book is called The Bait of Satan. And I feel bad because the book was recommended me years ago by one of my best friends. And for some reason, I never got around to reading it. You know, it was stuck on my shelf. But then two more people recommended that book, and I decided to go pull it out and read it. And I got to tell you, it is life transforming. Now, the bait of Satan basically is that it's talking about the spirit of offense. The spirit of offense. And I won't go into deep into it because you just got to read the book. But one of the statements that John Bevere made in there that kind of just stirred my thinking, and I want to share this with you today. He said that if the enemy, he's talking about Satan, if the enemy wanted to wipe you out, he could have done it a long time ago. He would have done it a long time ago, but he didn't. Now, I say that, and let me repeat that again, that if the devil really wanted to destroy us, destroy you, destroy me, that he would have done it a long time ago. But the question is, why hasn't he done it? It's because God won't permit him to do it. Now, why is this so important? I wanted to use this to keep you encouraged, because a lot of times, I don't know if you've said this before, you heard another Christian say this before when they given their life to Christ, is that, boy, the enemy, especially when they're on fire, man, the enemy should have took me out when he had the chance. He should have killed me when he had the chance. Now I'm on fire for the Lord. And the truth of the matter is, he wanted to, but he couldn't, because God did not give him permission. Now, here's the encouraging word for you. I don't know what season that you're going through right now in your life. I don't know what you're battling. I don't know when it could come to your finances, come to your family, your marriage, on your job, in your business, in your ministry. I don't know what it could be. But I know that the enemy is attacking. He is prowling like a roaring lion, looking for who he can devour. So he's going to be relentless. He's going to come after you. And a lot of times when those fiery darts come and we start to get discouraged, distracted, or we're starting to believe his false accusations, we believe that, wow, he's about to kill me. But here's the great news. He can't. Now, if God took his hands off of us, he could. But he has to get permission from the Father. You remember the story of Job. He has to ask God for permission to come at us. Now, the great thing about it is that God has his hand over you. He has his hand over me. He is still sovereign. So there's nothing the enemy can do to us. So basically what I'm telling you is that when we get those trials and tribulations, we should count it all joy. Like the Bible says, consider it pure joy when we face trials of many kinds. Because we know that it's just the testing of our faith. And the testing of our faith will produce perseverance. So what I'm telling you is don't take your eyes off the prize. Stay in your lane. Stay in the will of God. I don't care what storms and the winds that are blowing around you. Understand that the devil cannot do anything to you. He can make it seem bad. He can make those he can make it seem like all hell is breaking loose in your life. But understand that God is still on the throne. He is still sovereign. He is perfect. His will is perfect, and he must permit and allow the enemy to do anything to us. So what I'm telling you is not that you're not going to suffer. You are going to suffer. God tells us that. What I'm telling you is that you found hope in your suffering. You look for purpose in your suffering. You look for the lesson in your suffering. You ask God to reveal to you what he would have you do in your suffering that will glorify him. So you don't have to worry about the enemies that are surrounding you. Now, guys, I hope that this blessed you. I hope that it encouraged you. And if it has, please share with another brother who you may be mentoring or discipling. Because, like I always tell you, hey, that we're born males, but we are men by choice. We are men by choice. So each and every day we must choose to be the man that God called and created us to be. Because a male is a terrible, terrible thing to waste. So until next time, be strong, be blessed, and as always, stay in God's grip. I got to go catch an airplane now. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.